Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled you're joining me today because we're going to explore a tool that is literally changing the game for complex financial discovery. If you've ever been completely buried under a mountain of chaotic, disorganized statements, that dreaded metaphorical shoebox of receipts during a divorce settlement, well, you absolutely know the pain I'm talking about. Today we're looking at Thrive Financial's Asset Tracer. This is a tool specifically designed to take all those scattered records and instantly transform them into powerful court-ready negotiation leverage.
Look at that number, over $10,000. In a typical complex divorce case, hiring a human forensic accountant to dig through years of records usually commands a rate of around $450 an hour. So before you know it, you're looking at a $10,000 minimum retainer just to figure out what the marital estate actually looks like, let alone what might be secretly hidden within it. It's just a massive, massive barrier to financial justice.
But, this leads us to a pretty fascinating proposition. What if you could just bypass that massive wait time and expense entirely? What if you could uncover hidden assets, trace suspicious transfers, and document potential financial misconduct in a matter of minutes, instead of waiting months for a human accountant to manually process all that paperwork? Well, this is the exact promise of AI-powered financial discovery.
Section 1. The Setup. The Hidden Asset Problem.
In adversarial financial separations, let's be real, you are almost never handed a perfectly organized ledger. You are handed chaos. Just think about the human limitations here. When a paralegal or an accountant is reviewing page 300 of a massive PDF bank statement, fatigue is going to set in. It's incredibly easy for a person to just miss a small, suspiciously categorized transaction. But AI? AI brings absolute thoroughness. It can instantly cross-reference a tax return with an affidavit and then compare both of those against thousands of line-item bank statement transactions to hunt for discrepancies, all at the exact same time.
Section 2. The Reveal. Enter the Asset Tracer.
Built directly into the Thrive Financial platform, the Asset Tracer is a secure, client-side application. Now, what does that mean for you? It means the sensitive data processing happens securely right in your local browser environment. Your highly sensitive client data never sits on some external server. It's essentially a multi-report forensic fraud analysis tool that acts as your very own, personal, AI-powered forensic accountant.
Okay, let's dive into this and look at exactly how it works. Asset Tracer doesn't just passively read documents, it actively hunts for the truth. It completely cross-references everything you upload. It actively identifies discrepancies and missing assets, and it detects really complex patterns of marital waste or dissipation. Then it brilliantly scores and groups these red flags on a 1 to 10 risk scale so you know exactly where you need to look. And finally, the whole shebang traces those hidden transfers and generates hashed, court-ready PDF exports. That ensures you have a totally verifiable chain of custody for your evidence.
Section 3. The Investigation. Launching a case study.
The workflow here is remarkably elegant, and it's incredibly frictionless compared to manual accounting. It actually breaks down into 3 effortlessly guided steps. First, you select the target of your investigation. Second, you curate and upload the specific evidence. And third, you just run the AI analysis. Let's walk through what this looks like.
Step 1. On the initial configuration screen, you can choose to investigate a specific spouse. In our case study here, we're targeting Casey Williams, which is going to pull in all the personal and joint accounts attributed to Casey. But actually, check out the option right below that. You can also choose to investigate a specific business entity, like Starlight Cafe or Blue Ocean Partners. This is incredibly useful if you need to specifically look for embezzlement or someone draining funds from the company itself.
So once your target is set, you feed the AI. Now, you don't just dump raw files in there. You use previously parsed, organized documents. Right here, we're selecting specific bank and card statements, pulling in Casey's American Express business accounts for specific years. See, by giving the AI a really focused data set, you get much sharper, far more relevant results, and you totally avoid that classic garbage in, garbage out trap.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the platform actually elevates the user. Right before you hit run, the tool offers analysis guidance. It genuinely acts like a virtual forensic accountant standing over your shoulder, giving you best practices. It'll advise things like start broad, then narrow, telling you not to just upload everything at once for multi-year cases, but to establish a solid baseline first. You can even provide your own custom context to point the AI exactly where your suspicions lie.
Section 4. Uncovering red flags. The findings.
So we've set the trap and fed in the data. The very first thing you see in the exported report is this incredible visual map of the money. This financial trends chart immediately maps out all the inflows in green against the outflows in red over time. You don't have to stare cross-sided at a spreadsheet to realize something massive happened in March 2025. The tool visually surfaces significant financial events right at a glance, so you know exactly where the timeline gets really interesting.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the platform bridges the gap from a 30,000-foot high-level overview straight down to the granular evidence. On the main dashboard, you're seeing 9 high-risk findings across all reports. Then we drill directly into the generated executive summary. I mean, it literally reads like a human expert wrote it, pointing out systematic efforts to manipulate income and highlighting suspicious business insolvency declarations.
Let's look a little closer at one of those specific red flags. The AI scored this one a 9 out of 10 for risk. Why? Well, it found that on April 2nd, 2025, Casey debited over $53,000 and categorized it as rent or mortgage. But the AI caught that it was actually paid to a restaurant. It instantly identified this as a clear mischaracterization designed to divert marital funds. Furthermore, the AI connected the dots on the timing. Casey actually declared business insolvency for Starlight Cafe just one single month before the binding pretrial. Crazy, right?
But here's the thing. The AI goes way beyond just massive single transactions. It actually catches subtle behavioral patterns. In this case, it flagged suspicious returned payroll deposits and chronic overdraft fees. Now, a human might easily overlook a $35 overdraft fee, but the AI aggregates them all together. This proves a deliberate, intentional strategy by Casey to recklessly deplete the marital account balances right before the settlement. It completely establishes a clear, undeniable pattern of dissipation for a judge.
Section 5. The verdict. Building your case.
Finding the misbehavior is really only half the battle, right? Presenting it effectively is what actually wins the case. So the crucial point is that Asset Tracer turns scattered, raw financial data into ironclad court-ready leverage without the crushing expense. You aren't just sitting there saying, well, I think my spouse is hiding money. No, you are sliding a hashed, verifiable, source-linked PDF across the table that clearly outlines $53,000 in disguised spending. It takes raw data and turns it into an ironclad inventory.
Which leaves us with this final thought. The landscape of financial discovery has fundamentally shifted. When facing your next opaque, difficult financial settlement, will you choose to be buried in months of incredibly expensive paperwork, or will you let AI uncover the precise leverage you need to win? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I really hope this changes how you view the future of financial investigations.